Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Uh, Please endeavor to subscribe, share, like, and do all those kind of things that help the channel to grow. My name is Amayanja Fazil, and this is the breakdown. Now, the top trending story for the past 10 days, of course, we know it has been about our comrade known as Fred Kajubi Lumbuye, who got abducted and kidnapped in Turkey. His whereabouts are still unknown. We don't know whether he's still alive or he is still dead. Sorry, or he is dead. Different endeavors have been done within NUP to make sure that we find our comrade, but all have not been fruitful. We also understand that there is a team of lawyers that was sent to Turkey by the party that was led by one of the councils in the NUP known as Anthony Wamedi, as well as the Shadow Minister for Foreign Affairs, who is also a lawyer known as Nkunyinji Muwada. So they went to Turkey to try to comb the prisons, detention centers, to find out the real facts on what happened with Fred. Unfortunately, most of all those endeavors have not been fruitful. They have tried as much as they can, but it has not worked. What we also understand is that they managed to talk to a few lawyers that they will be working with on the case and so many other things. But Fred is still nowhere to be seen, nowhere to be, he's not been heard from, and it looks like uh, he's gone missing in action in one way or the other. It's now exactly, I think, what, 11 or 10 days that we have entered when Fred is nowhere to be seen. It is so surprising that the people that claimed to be having him, right now they are quiet, and maybe because they knew that he was going to be deported with 9 others, but we cannot see anything happening on their side as well. So it means that they either have him or they know his whereabouts in Turkey or he is in the Ugandan embassy, and they have realized they made a very big blunder. They played with fire, and now they don't know how to dispose it of. But anyway, besides all that, today I'm going to talk about a new development in this entire case or in this entire situation that is taking place, which is likely to amplify the level of pressure that is exerted on the Turkish authorities as well as the Ugandan um junta who in cahoots, who kidnapped Fred Kajubi Lumbuye. Now, what we understand today is that the Shadow Minister for Foreign Affairs, also a gentleman known as Nkunyinji Muwada, who had gone to Turkey to look for Fred and establish the facts and all this kind of stuff, he came back to the country as we speak today. He is back to Uganda, and while on his trip back, he managed to meet the uh, British High Commissioner in Uganda, a lady known as Kate Airy, and they discussed a number of issues. So among the issues that was raised by Mr. Nkunyinji Mwada, according to his Facebook page, I will read to you here. He said that among issues I tabled was the arrest and kidnap of Lumbuye in Turkey. He is continued missing and announced deportation by the Ugandan government. The British High Commissioner confirmed that they are concerned with Lumbuye's whereabouts and have noted with concern the overwhelming public and social media concerns on Fred Kajubi Lumbuye. She maintained that Britain accord much respect to freedom of speech and human rights values. The British High Commissioner asserted that they started and will continue to make independent investigations on Lumbuye whereabouts and related circumstances to cause and involved actors. Now, as you can see from that particular statement, it really shows that so many different embassies, foreign embassies in Uganda, are concerned on this particular matter, because this is a matter to deal with freedom of speech. This is a matter to deal with, especially if you go after a person you do not agree with. I mean, that is really huge. It means for anyone in the diaspora who sought asylum on political grounds because your government is chasing after you, they can easily, if they fail to repatriate you, they can easily come, abduct you, and kidnap you from a foreign country. And it is really, really, it paints a very bad picture of the country known as Uganda going after dissidents in the diaspora. You see, these people are always saying that, no, you guys, please do market our Uganda in a positive way. Don't show the world our dirty linen, blah, 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 and all this kind of crap. But I tell them, for me, I don't have to do that. It is you who will even demarket Uganda on the tourism level. Like, no tourists now can come to Uganda knowing that they kidnap people. Remember that American journalist that got kidnapped in, was it Kidepo, somewhere there in the national park? And Trump told him, Museveni, you have to find that lady ASAP. You see, in Africa today, Africa is a country, sorry, it's a continent where if um, if a certain state in Africa captures you, you are most likely to be repatriated to that particular state. They will not accord you any sort of protection. I can guarantee you, if you got arrested in a country like Burundi as a Ugandan, you will be snatched out and given back to Uganda. These people can never protect any fellow African from these so-called big men like the Musevenis. Now, you should also understand this thing, that the British High Commissioner being concerned about Lumbuye's issue, it means that they have picked interest in the matter because of social media and public outrage on how this whole thing is being conducted. These people claimed that they have Lumbuye and they know his whereabouts and they're in touch with the Turkish authorities who had arrested him. But when we go to Turkey, Mr. Wameri, as well as the shadow minister, they tried to comb all detention centers trying to look for Fred Lumbuye, but Fred Lumbuye was not there. According to the Observer, they said that the manifest at the airport on the 4th of August was also confiscated. Now, also the Observer said that Lumbuye is being held somewhere at an Air Force base in northern part of Uganda. So that's what they said. Now, we do understand that by having him in northern part of Uganda, if they have him in Uganda, they don't know how to present him to the public. That's why you saw Museveni's speech yesterday on the weekend. It was somehow surprising to the people. We all understand that, and I will come and break down that particular speech and what it means. But if you look at this particular situation, you see that the embassies definitely know something. What we have to be doing right now is to push embassies. Go out there, protest at these embassies. Go out on their Twitter handles and Twitter pages and protest on the American embassy and all these kind of things. In a good way, just to tell them about the story, just for them to be in the know, because they know, but to amp up the wee bit of the pressure. We should involve organizations like Amnesty International. We should involve organizations like the Human Rights Watch and all those other organizations that do advocacy for human rights and activists and all this kind of stuff. Because only and only that is where the pressure is going to mount. And when it mounts on that side, these people will be forced to vomit Mr. Fred Lumbuye. The people within Turkey, as well as the people in Uganda, and all of a sudden everything will come to the limelight, like it did with the Khashoggi murders. But then we also understand that there are efforts to push this story into the international media, and recently I did an interview with the BBC, I think it was yesterday, talking about Mr. Lumbuye's matter. We also understand that now different human rights organizations in Turkey, as well as newspapers in Turkey, have taken interest in the matter, and they are keenly following up to establish what actually happened on this particular situation. So now you have embassies, you have international human rights organizations, you have human rights organizations in Turkey, you have international media getting interested in the matter. I think this extra pressure is likely to yield some results before the end of this week or next week. Because we have done everything humanly possible. We have tweeted, we have protested, we have made all the noise, and it has piqued interest, but we haven't been able to take that step to reach out to these particular individuals, the ambassadors, embassies, and all this kind of stuff, and all these international human rights organizations. And I think that is where we should be paying our interest starting this particular year. No, starting this particular week, protesting on embassies and sending emails, sending messages, making those phone calls, because like people have done all these things, but they have been forwarded towards the Turkish government. But now we have to do them, pointing them towards the these organizations that I have mentioned. I'm really interested. I'm really fascinated. I'm sorry. I'm really happy that the British Ambassador High Commissioner is taking interest in the matter, and she is actually doing their own investigation to establish what happened and everything that has been happening. So, whereas we shouldn't be having high hopes on their investigations and things like that, but at least it is a step forward for everyone who was involved to know that we are not the only people watching. Different other people are watching this particular matter. We all understand people that have been murdered in unclear circumstances, activists, people like the Lugomvos who were murdered in the 2000s, the early 2000s, people like the Sekweyamas who were killed, and we don't know how, what Sekweyamas, people who were killed, the Lugomvos, the Sekweyamas, and all these people, the Sam Mugumias are in prisons in Zaire. It's really interesting. So, guys, that is the update that I wanted to give you in the case about Lumbuye, but also there's much more other things that are happening in Uganda, and we also need to keep up on that particular front. But as we speak now, that is so far what I have to give you, because I have to be careful. The information that I put out there, it has to be factual, and it has to be able to, for anyone who is following the case, to comprehend and to keep up with this particular case. So let us meet in the next one. Have a blessed day and enjoy the rest of your evening. Please do not forget to subscribe and share and like the video, as well as to support the channel in one way or the other. Have a blessed one. Bye-bye.